Okay. So yeah, I think we can also start now. The session is being recorded, so we will also post it on the Urban Farm website afterward. Today we have with us Michele Mellara. We can see half of his face, and Alessandro Rossi in the background. Okay, now we can see both of them. Good morning, Michele and Alessandro, and thanks for being here with us today. So as anticipated, he will be part of the jury of the International Student Challenge Urban Farm, assessing the videos that will be made by the students. And as we did also in the past years, we invited you to take part in this series of rendezvous. We can see the agenda of the upcoming rendezvous in the background. And Michele and Alessandro are adjunct professor at the University of Bologna at the School of Cinema. And they had a long experience in developing fiction and documentary movies. One of them that is highly related to the topic of the challenge is God Save the Green, where we actually met about 10 years ago. And today they will tell us how to elaborate an effective 2 minutes video for the telling your story and your idea of project. So please, Michele and Alessandro, the stage is yours. When you want to start.
Shall I start? Thank you to everybody. We are quite happy to be here. As Francesco said, we have been collaborating together with Francesco and Prosdoci Misanquinto for such a long time. They were involved in one documentary of ours titled God Save the Green, as Francesco said, and we had already helped students to develop short videos with talking about urban agriculture. We did that in the past, and we are quite happy to do it again today together with you. And we will try to make it simple and our explanation, and to give you some pieces of advices about how you can create a good video. Where should we start?
We can also start from the video.
Watching the videos?
Why not? The first one, our video.
Okay. We collected a couple of videos that are uploaded on a website named efua.eu, and the main video in the home page is a video realized with graphic animation, and it gives to the audience the main keys about the project, about EFUA project, and it's roughly speaking 4 minutes long, and you have already the link of the video, and we would like to show it to you. I mean, you could watch it, and we can have a chat about it later on. Is it fine for you, Francesco?
Yes, we can watch it. We can also post it here, but probably it's better if everyone watch the video based on the link. So the link is here in the chat, www.efua.eu, and the video is on the home page.
Wow. Let's make our city better with urban agriculture. Come on, join us!
Okay, here we go. I mean, this is a video a presentation of the FUA project, and we used graphic animation in order to make a video which could appealing for a wide range of audience. And as you could see, it's supposed to be a quite charming video, a little bit funny. And it's a way of developing a topic about urban agriculture. I mean, in order to make your own video, you can use a wide range of different techniques. In this case, we used graphic animation, but it's not the only way to produce a video. We showed this video to you because we want to give you an idea about how a video could be developed. No?
Yeah. Some of your colleagues in the last few years used some piece of simple animation to show with video their own project on the places of that are supposed to be the core of your project. And one important thing is that to explain your idea and to talk about serious topics and important topics such as social impact or energy impact and so on, you can also use a light way of telling the story. If Michele was using the word funny, it's good to use to be sometimes funny or simple or tell difficult topics in a simple way. This is one of the most important thing to be effective with your video. Try to be simple and clear. Maybe sometimes it's better to skip some of your of the main points of your project. Maybe if you have, for example, five important points in your project, maybe sometimes it's more useful to tell only two of them, but to be clear and simple and direct. Because otherwise, one problem we have seen in the last few years is that the project appear to be confused, or you don't remember them very well because they look like one look like another one. So focus on the clear idea of being direct and simple in your explanation.
Maybe we could go to the second video as well.
Yeah.
You have another link and for another video, and that one has been made by students, as I said you before, and maybe you could watch it, and later on we can come back here just to have a chat about it. Is it fine for you, Francesco?
I reposted the video. It's on YouTube, and it's the last post I included, networking in urban agriculture. So it lasts 5 minutes. We can look at it and then come back here. Thanks.
Food connects people. And within the global concept of urban agriculture, we have to ask ourselves, how well does this large system even work? In order to feed all 7.9 billion people on our planet, a strong and healthy network helps to tackle several challenges while having central importance for quality of life and structure of the city. Looking at those food production chains that comprise several stages and groups of actors, from producing and processing to distributing, retailing, and consuming the food, over time it is shown that the connections and interfaces between these stages are gradually becoming more fragmented, which leads us to the eternal question: how can a strong and healthy network among the individual stages of food production and groups of actors be developed to become strong and resilient? The key actors of the participating sector are represented through farmers, coordinators, resellers, and consumers. The foundation is represented by scientists who are doing research for proper conditions and exploring suitable sites based on scientific parameters. The seed of urban agriculture is getting planted, followed by the sprout of the producing sector through farmers who are producing and providing crops. In context of the city, they differ in full-time, part-time, or hobby farmers with the mission to make food available for everyone. The sapling of the network tree stands for selling and further processing of crops, which leads into economic marketing of commodities. After the harvest, cleaning, and quality control, the crops are prepared to get sold directly at the local farmers market or supermarket. Additionally, there is the option of industrial processing the crops into manufactured goods. After shaping the functional structure of urban agriculture, the previously mentioned sectors have to be organized through guidelines and political agendas. Before sale and distribution collaboration between policymakers, food council managements, and logistics is required. The many tasks of coordination could be summarized as providing money to accomplish a common infrastructure, analyzing the local food market, offering a platform for participation and exchange, focus on an overall goal for the city, and controlling achievements through a plan of action. The crops of urban agriculture are now ready to be consumed, while adding a local offer to the market with an outstanding promotion. consumers are able to choose a local product and support the urban agriculture system. To answer the question why it is so important to secure the connections between these stakeholders, it could be said, through a strong and healthy integration of networking to urban agricultural systems, multiple benefits arise. Benefits such as global health, fair trade, higher revenue, lower farming costs, market access, and addressing water scarcity and waste management. In order to keep these connections strong, we need to educate those who aren't engaged thus far. Doing that by providing necessary information via different kinds of media like print, online media, or toolkits is very important and helps to close knowledge gaps among society. It's all a matter of understanding, mentoring organizations such as EFUA, and working together as a whole. Every drop counts. To gain a sustainable network. Come on, participate!
So, again, animation, again, explanation of simple thing. And so what you have to do is to use some keywords. One is being simple, direct, and try to focus on the objective of your project and not to all the level of your project. Another thing is you can use, as Michele said, different technique. Maybe these techniques can be together. You can find on the web, depending on what kind of computer you have, a Mac or a PC or Linux, you can find some simple and free software to edit videos, short videos. Sometimes you can use them for 1 week, but it's enough to use them for your video. And in the last few years, some of your colleagues also have some skills in animation or in drawing. You can also draw. Some students can draw some ideas, sketch of the project, and then you can film them with your mobile phone. You can have interviews of yourself, maybe some presentations that you can shoot with your mobile phone, your smartphone. So you can play with techniques in order to be clear and to be to catch the attention of your audience. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, a couple of pieces of advice about the technical stuff. Let's say that you decide to make your own shooting and you don't want to use graphic animation or whatever is linked to graphic animation. If you decide to shoot yourself your own video, keep in mind that it's useful to keep the same standard from the beginning to the end. What does it mean? It means that if you shoot in full HD, full HD, for example, the video, you keep it on with full HD from the beginning to the end. The second point, pay attention about audio, pay attention about interviews. I mean, if you have somebody who talks on camera and is not clear what he's saying because you have a noisy audio or the audio is not focused, no? And it can be very annoying. And that means that if you want to make some interviews, some students has to wear headphones and paying attention about the quality of the audio. Okay. If you want to make some shooting on yourself, it could be useful to have a list of the shooting. I mean, let's say that you put on paper all the shooting you want to realize, and you can check it out, and that can give you the idea if you are missing something or if you are not missing something. Let's say, for example, I wanted to make an interview to Francesco right now, and how many cameras I want to use? Do I want to use only one camera, or do I want to use two cameras in order to have two cuts in the editing room? For example, I could decide to have a medium size of Francesco and a close-up of Francesco, and edit them together in the video. It's only an example, you know. And if you decide to follow these parts this way, of course, the two cameras has to be set on the same standard, and you have to make a check in order to have a sync sound of Francesco's interview. And in the editing room, you will be able to edit the two cameras together. Going back, make a list of the shooting and set up your video standard, and decide if you want to have steady shots, for example, on a tripod, or if you want to have handheld stuff. Okay, and try to stick to what you decided from the beginning to the end. Otherwise, the video can look a bit creepy. I mean, the visual code of the video doesn't work very well if you swap from one style to another. What else?
You can use also voiceover. That is to say that you can have shooting, images, drawings, pictures, and you use a voice of somebody that is not on the screen. In this way, you can be more clear in the explanation, because you write it down, your voice, and decide, my project is to do this, 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 and the images follow this. You can use music, but don't exaggerate in using music, because sometimes the music covers everything. And it's important, the voice, to help some voice, you can also use subtitles, because sometimes our English, my English, for example, is like this, needs to be subtitled in order to be clear. And so you can write the words.
Of course, if you use voiceover, make some rehearsals. I mean, before recording it. I mean, if I have to record my own voice, because I will use it as a voiceover of the video, before reading the voice on the mic, I mean, try to read it more than once, a couple of times at least, and check it out if it works, if it doesn't, if you need to adjust it, if there is something that is not enough clear, if you can cut it down a bit, or you need to write something more. Check it out more than once, because when you have done it, it's done, and you can't go back.
So short, simple, clear and effective. In the last few years, what was for us the best to be seen on screen was not, for example, architectural rendering. They are boring after a while. The rendering of your architectural idea. You can use it for a few seconds, then it's something that you don't want to watch it anymore, because you see that it's a rendering of a normal rendering. It's effective sometimes writing down the keywords of your project on the screen, appears on the screen. Social impact, greenhouses,
and whatever.
We liked very much the games between the group, when we see a group that is working together. So think not only of the contents of your project, but also of the way you want to develop the project, and you want to express your own attitude to the project.
Let's say that on one side you have your storytelling. I mean, the storytelling has to work. I mean, you have to tell a story from the beginning to the end, and you have to transfer some issues to the audience, okay? The main topic points of your project, okay? They have to be in the storytelling. And a story usually has a beginning, a middle, and an end, okay? I mean, try to be coherent, try to be, to stick to the fact that it has to be clear that you have a beginning, a middle of the story, and the ending part of it. And this is the story. And which way can I use in order to tell the story as effective as I can? I mean, this means that you have to choose the style, the storytelling style. I can say a story in a dramatic way, in a comic way. I can tell a story in a funny way. I can tell a story using, I mean, a lot of contents, a lot of specific words about the main topic of my story. When you have your story, and when you are sure about that it works, try to force yourself in terms of translate your story on video. Which kind of style can I use? Which kind of technique can I use? And when you follow a path, stick to this path. When you follow a way, when you decide for a way, stick to the way from the beginning to the end. There is nothing more horrible than a video that starts in one way and it ends in another way, which is completely different from the beginning. It makes, I mean, confusion to the audience. I mean, and it keeps the audience distance about what the audience watch.
And you don't need to shoot everything, sorry, because you can find on the web some site where you can borrow, download, get for free with a sample login images, pictures, and video. For example, there is a Shutterstock. Shutterstock, you can have a free access for 1 week, and you can have 10 pictures or 2 videos, and then you can find some images that might be useful for your project. Or if you need, for example, to play with archive, the past, the present, and the future, you can watch a website called archive.org, in which in the Prelinger forum fund you can get free stock images, free write stock images. So search on the net to find images or pictures or videos that might be useful for you. But remember to use them in the best quality, the best possible quality. And also music and sound effects can be found on the web. There are some, for example, free sound or some website with music already recorded that can be used for free on a videos like yours. So search on the web to find contents that can be useful. Don't stop on the first idea.
That means that you can use archive materials for free, downloading it from the web, from different websites. As Alessandro said, there are some websites dedicated to sound, and there are some others dedicated to images, stills and videos as well. And we are not only talking about archive material from the past, but there is some archive materials from the present, contemporary archive material. Maybe some of it could be useful for your own video. Okay. Does it sound clear? Have you got any questions? Do we express ourselves in a clear way? Are there any doubts? Because for us it's still morning and we are not so sharp as in the late afternoon.
If I may, so I think also this part on the archive material was very important, and it is important that you only use archive material that is free, especially with the music, because then your video could be banned from the channel where it gets uploaded, and you are also collecting, beside the vote from the jury, you are also collecting vote from the public. So it is important that your video stays there, and the public can see it. The general public will go on your on the web page associated with your team, and if they like the video, they will provide their vote, and this will also sum up to your final score. Yeah, I think some of the videos that were awarded in the last years, they had also included archive material very often. Some also seem to work on a green screen and put their image speaking in top of the project they were presenting. I think Martina, if you want, Martina, you can also open the mic if you want to intervene, or you can write in the chat as you.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask, is it possible to watch videos from the past editions, so to have an idea of how it should look?
Yes, Martina, all the videos are online in the website of Urban Farm. We will include the link now, and you can find all of them. Normally, there are two typologies of video. One is the one that you prepare at the beginning, that is a very general introduction of the team. I don't know if Michele and Alessandro would like to provide some suggestions specifically for this type of video. And then the second one is the one that you prepare at the end of the challenge, that presents your project highlights. Again, as they said, you don't need to tell everything about the project in 2 minutes. Probably it's better if you concentrate on some of the key highlights.
Yeah, being honest, I mean, talking about the introduction videos, some of them were a bit boring. Why? Because most of them use the same techniques. People who are talking on camera about what they're going to do in the future. I know that it's quite difficult, it's quite tricky to make an introduction video of a project that is that is not finished yet. But if you have your key points, and as we said before, you have your storytelling about the project, try to be a bit creative. Try to be a bit appealing to the audience. You are using the video language, and you should stick inside this language. And for example, I mean, ask to yourself how you can be as appealing as you can for the audience, as charming as you can. Catch audience attention, you know what I mean? Try not to be banal. It doesn't mean that you have to do something very comical or something that is unpredictable. But let's think about that. I mean, you want to catch audience attention, and in order to do that, being creative and being charming and appealing is something that is quite important.
We already know that you are students, that you are young, and you want to do this project. So don't tell this in your presentation. Normally they say, I'm Alessandro, I'm 21 years old, I study architecture at the University of Leuven. That is not interesting. The important is what you do in the group, what you will do, what are your purpose in this project. The fact that you are a student is, of course, part of the game, and we already know it. Okay, so don't skip this part.
What's your aim? Is the question you have to answer to. What's your aim? What's your video's aim? Okay, what's your video's mission? Okay, that is linked to the fact that you are developing a project, of course, in the urban horticulture field.
Other questions? We only see Francesco. That looks like a DJ.
I'm including some video links also in the chat of past editions videos. Yeah. Well, if there is no any further question, then we can also move on toward the conclusion of this webinar. Thanks a lot to Michele and Alessandro for being with us today. And yeah, as anticipated, we will also upload online the webinar, so it will remain available for anyone that is interested. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Francesco. Thank you very much to all the students, and the best of luck for your videos.
Shoot a good video.
Thank you.
Thank you.